Hello again, guys. Mr. Thomas here, and today we are going to be doing some more work on subtraction. This is episode 7, and I'm going to show you two strategies to use. One of them is the way that I learned in school, and probably a way that a lot of adults learned, which we refer to as borrowing. And when I was in school, that was pretty much the only way that I was taught to do 2, 3, and larger number subtraction. I'm going to show you that method, and then I'm also going to show you another method that is a place value method, where you're going to be breaking up one of the numbers into the different place values, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. When I was a student in school, the only way that I was taught how to solve a subtraction problem was rewriting it. So if we have 413 take away 248, we would write it like this, with the smaller number below the bigger number, and we always start in the ones column, and we would look here, and if the number above is larger than the number below, we can subtract. But in this case, 3 is not larger, it's smaller. I couldn't eat 3 M&M. I couldn't eat 8 M&Ms if there's only 3. So what I have to do is I have to borrow from the next column if there's a number available. So I'm going to cross off my tens. There's one 10, but if I take a 10 away, I'm left with no tens. What I'm doing is I'm going to move that 10 to the ones column. 10 plus the number there, 10 plus 3, is 13. And I can subtract now. 13 take away 8 is going to give me 5. Then I have to move back to the tens column, and I have a 0 up top. That is nothing. I can't take 4 from nothing, so now I have to borrow from the hundreds column. 400, I'm going to take 100 away, which would leave me with 300. That 100 is going to move to the tens column. 10 tens is the same as 100. So above here, above that 0, I write a 10. Now I can subtract. 10 take away 4 is 6. And in the hundreds column, 3 take away 200. 300 minus 200 is 100. So my answer, in this case, using the borrowing strategy, is going to be 165. For a lot of students, all of this crossing out and manipulation of numbers can be pretty confusing. So there's some other strategies we can use as well. The next strategy I'm going to show you involves using place value. So we have the big number, which we're going to rewrite first, 413. And the way we're going to do it this time is we're going to focus just on the place value. We're going to start with the hundreds. So 413 minus 2 in the hundreds means 200. So if we have 413 take away 200, that's going to get us down to 213. We can check that off. Then we're going to look at the tens. We have a 4, which is 40. Take our new number, 213. We're going to take 40 away from that. Okay? What you can do is we're going to count back by tens 4 times, and I could use tally marks on the side. So if I count back by 110 from 213 back, 110 is going to get me to 203. By 2 tens is going to get me 193. 3 tens is going to get me 183. And 4 tens, which we're talking about here, is going to get me 173. There's our new number. And we're going to rewrite that again. And now we're going to subtract, we did the tens, we're going to subtract the last digit, which is in the ones, 173 minus 8. And if you count back 8 from 173, or if you think of 8 as a 5 and a 3, if we count back 3, we get to 170, and then 170 minus 5 is going to get us 165, which is what the answer was on the previous question. In the last video I showed you, we used the number line strategy. So let's quickly try that out and see if it'll work as well. So we're going to draw our line across, start with our small number, 248. And remember, we're turning subtraction into addition. So we're counting to the big number, which is 413. We're going to use compatible numbers. So the first hop I'm going to make, I'm going to go to 250. And that's adding 2. 250 is a compatible number. Now I want to jump to 100, a whole 100, which is 300. And from 250 to 300 is a plus 50. From 300, I'm going to jump to 400. Going from 300 to 400 is plus 100. And then the final jump I'm going to make from 400 to 413 is plus 13. And to now find the answer to our subtraction problem, we're going to add those four numbers. It's always easier, I find, to put the biggest numbers up top. So we're going to have 100. We're going to have a 50. We're going to have 13. And then the last digit is a 2. And we're going to add those four numbers together. 0, 0, 3, and 2 in the ones column is a 5. 0, 5, and 1 in the tens. We have 6 tens, which is 60. And the hundreds column, we just have a 1. We get 165, 165. Same answer we got the two previous ways. After watching this video, I hope you have a strategy now that you can feel that you own. You can use the number line strategy. If the top number is close to a whole 100, you can change it to end with a 99. You can use the borrowing strategy, which I think for some kids can be kind of complicated. There's lots of crossing off. And then you can also use that place value strategy I showed you, where you would subtract first the hundreds, then the tens, then the ones from that initial number. I feel personally for students that the number line strategy is probably the best option. It's using addition to solve subtraction, and students are usually more comfortable with addition. But hopefully you can get one of those strategies and feel like you understand it, and you can use it on a regular basis with subtraction. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.